Yeah, Tashitele. Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is doing fine. Oh, yeah. Okay, as usual, we start with settling our body and mind in the present moment by deciding that coming hour or so, they're going to dedicate completely to acquire the Dharma, to utilize the meaning of one's own life, which is to fulfill the wishes of all sentient beings, abiding them in the state of happiness. So for that reason, bring about your body and mind in the present moment by withdrawing from the distractive emotions, the past and the future. Yeah. Now take a few moments to reflect on the preciousness of precious human rebirth, in particularly acknowledging how fortunate we are to have opportunity to practice the Dharma. You and myself, all of us equally possess all the conducive conditions to actualize complete Dharma in learning and in practice. We even equipped with the potential of possibility of actualizing full enlightenment within this very lifetime by meeting the complete Dharma of Sutra and the Tantra. When can be more fortunate than such time? We have already actualized the prayers, wishes, spiritual wishes, and aspiration that we met many, many lifetimes, from beginningless lifetimes, to able to meet perfect Mayanic Guru, who reveal complete Dharma Mm. Uh, Vows, explanation on the treaties, uh, precepts, and bestowing the permission to enter into the deity's mandala, the initiations. Mm. We have actualized that aspiration. Uh, you know, within very now. So therefore, uh, is one of the greatest prayers and wishes that we have achieved. And how fortunate we are. Thinking from the factual reasoning, even though 1,000 fortunate Buddhas will descend to turn the wheel of Dharma, the 12 deeds of the Dharma, 12 deeds of the Buddha's activities, to lead, sentient being like us to the path. But not all the 1,000 fortunate Buddhas will reveal the complete Dharma. Like what Shakyamuni Buddha, the Buddha of this time, revealed it, the both Sutra and Tantra. Then even in future, even if we obtain precious human rebirth again, but not necessarily that we will have the opportunity to actualize the complete Dharma, because not all the Buddhas will reveal the entirety of the Dharma, like in particularly Tantra, that which provide the sweetest path to enlightenment. Then another fact is death is certain, time of death is uncertain. Our last day in this human body could be any moment from next moment onward. And at the same time, we don't have confident accumulations of abundance of virtuous causes that which will deliver definite precious human rebirth in future. The pure morality, practice of generosity, and always aspiring, higher realms. We don't have this basic accumulation of causes for higher rebirths. So therefore, from whatever angle that we examine, we analyze, the best time to practice the Dharma, the best environment to actualize the highest realization in the path as possible, quickest realization in the possible without interrupting by any inconvenience and negative rebirths. And this present moment is the most right time. So with this firm understanding, then reflect a few moments on the limitations of overall samsaric existence, and in specific, the desire realms, humans' limitations, in particular the distractions of desire. Then develop genuine sense of renunciation towards samsara and its causes. And then take a few moments to gain conviction, faith in the liberation, the enlightenment, or the cessation from samsara and its causes. Is definitely possible by acknowledging that each and every one of us here, since the day that we met the Dharma, or even before, through many different experiences in life, we see the value of loving kindness, compassion, and selfless. And we have studied in our very best, and all of us do understand, at least the basic. And not only that, we contemplate and meditate, and certain, changes have occurred, certain transformation have occurred in our life, isn't it? We become more selfless. We become more detached to samsaric, material world. We gain more contented state of mind. We have developed a sense of genuine caring for the well-being of the rest of the other sentient beings. We also understand that the nirvana or the samsara, everything is byproduct of causes and condition. It's not inherent by its nature. And this proves that the path, both method and wisdom, is definitely developable within our mental continuum through our own experience, not just said in the text, but looking into our own experience. It is definitely possible if we put more effort now onward. We can achieve great benefits developing in the path. Since the path is the cause for liberation and enlightenment, therefore, the cessation from samsara and its causes is definitely achievable. So try to, have this firm, establish the firm aspiration and conviction in path and its cessation, the Buddhahood. Now, take a few moments to meditate on love and compassion. By understanding the ultimate purpose of spirituality, the spiritual journey is to bring benefit to the numberless sentient beings, to bring ultimate benefit to numberless sentient beings. By understanding the rest of the numberless sentient beings are in the state of suffering under the control of delusion and karma, and oneself being in such a positive position, then generate a sense of responsibility to help them, to liberate them, like how the mother would cherish the well-being of the beloved child, whose life is in danger. Okay, so now refresh our refuge practice, a refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Then feel the presence of all our lineage gurus, starting from our root gurus, like His Honorable Dalai Lama, Gyalpa Lama Supa Rinpoche, all the way up to the root of the new Kadamba master, like Lama Tsongkhapa. Then all the lineage master of the earlier Kadamba master, up to Geshe, Domdamba, and Lama Atisha, and all the lineage gurus of the profound teaching and extensive teaching, up to Buddha Maitreya and Buddha Manjushri. And feel that their wisdom eye is witnessing us, the follower, fulfilling their wishes, their aspirations, which is for us to engage into Dharma practice. Feel they are very pleased. Pleasing the Buddhas and the Gurus is the channel where we purify our negative imprints and accumulate merits. And this purified mind and accumulation of merits help us to whatever Dharma that we learn become a Dharma to our heart, become an antidote to subdue our mind. And that Dharma, will become path. And on the journey of the path, it helps us overcome obstacles. And that path will bring about the result, fulfilling the ultimate wishes of self and ultimate wishes of others, which is to actualize the two bodies of the Buddha, the Dharmakaya and the Rupakaya. So for that, then, not only we offer our 1 hour or so time in the service of Guru Buddha, but also, we dedicate entire our life, entire our future lifetimes, entire our body, speech, and mind, including rest of the existence, in the form of wish-granting jewel and immortal nectars, and offer in abundance, to all these merit fields. then also request them to continue, always turn the wheel of Dharma, inspire us to engage in Dharma practices. And request they never to be separated from awareness, from our awareness, from our the awareness of oneness, self with the Guru and self with the Buddhas. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so today we will go through the text, which is on page 71. If you're using the Mind Training, the Great Collection text. So today we will go through the root line of the Mahayana Mind Training by Adisha. So this root line very much serve as the root text to all the mind training teachings, that which composed by the earlier Tibetan Gautama masters, like Geshe Domdamba, Geshe Chekawa, Geshe Sharawa, etc., including the Lama Tsongkhapa's teachings, including Lamrim. The lamb on the path, that which serve as a root text. In a similar way, this root line of the Mahayana Mind Training too serve as a root text to all these teachings, Lamrim and Lojong teachings. In particularly, the most celebrated Lojong teaching, the Geshe Chekawa's 7-point thought transformation, and Geshe Langri Tamba's 8 verses of thought transformation. Then the Sei Chibu Chugi Gyaltsen's, the commentary on 7-point thought transformation. All these various of Lojong teachings, based on the Adisha's root line of the Mahayana Mind Training, like that. So this text and also the following text, the annotated root line of the Mahayana Mind Training by Adisha himself, is a similar. It's a similar. It's just one is more brief. The another one is slight, elaborated into the brief explanation in relation to the line. Then the extensive explanation that of this text we will see in the Chibu Chugi Gyaltsen's 7-point thought transformation. So I will go through briefly of this first text, and then that will help us to get clearer when we go through the second text. Then we will have a very elaborate understanding of the meaning of this the root text from the Chibu Chugi Gyaltsen's 7-point thought transformation, commentary on the 7-point thought transformation. And this the root line also consists within 7 points. The first point is the presentation on the preliminary, the basis. The second point is training in the true mind of the awakening, the main practice. Then the third point is taking adverse condition onto the path of enlightenment. Fourth point is a presentation of the lifetime practice in summary. Then fifth is presentations of the measure of having trained the mind. Then the sixth is presentations of the commitment of the mind training. Then the seventh is presentations of the precept of mind training. So, so here, yeah, so first, okay, I will just go through the text. It says, homage to the sovereign who has accomplished all purpose and who is the glorious, auspicious jewel, suitably enduing others with great happiness. So this is a homage. Paying homage at the beginning of any writings is very much traditions of the Nalanda Pandits, and which carry also to the Tibetan, writers, like that. So the paying homage, one of the reasons is to also, paying homage. One of the reason is to clear obstacle to the composition of the text. The second reason is to show the main topic of the teaching. Then the third reason is to accumulation of merit, gathering of conducive conditions to the actualization of the text. So like that. So here, the homage to sovereign who has accomplished all purpose, which is the Buddha, the all purpose, one's own purpose, which is actualizing the Dharmakaya state of enlightenment. Others' purpose, complete others' purpose is actualizing the Rupakaya of the Buddhahood. And who is glorious auspicious jewel, simply enduring others' wish, others with great happiness. That Buddha, who is like a wish granting jewel, auspicious wish granting jewel that grants the causes and conditions and happiness of sentient being, like that. The Adisha also, this homage also can refer the accomplished all purpose, Buddha, but also can refer to his guru, his main, in particular, his main three guru, from whom he have specifically, achieve the lineage of the mind training practice, Dharmarashita, Maitri Yogi, then Siling Dharmakirti. So so like that. So first, train in the preliminaries. This is from the 7th point, the first point. So the first train in the preliminaries, in order to, gain success in the main practice of any practices, preliminary, without training in the preliminary, without accumulating preliminary, we cannot accomplish the main practice, whether to do with the sutra or tantra, all same. You see, so here mainly is referring to the sutric teaching. The preliminary here refer to the preliminary to the practice of the three vehicles, or preliminary to the practice of the three scopes, like such as practice of refuge, practice of precious human, understanding, and the understanding of the precious human rebirth, understanding of karmic law, cause and effect. then the understanding of the Four Noble Truth, understanding of impermanent, death and impermanent. So these are the common preliminary teaching to the three scopes practitioner, three vehicles of practitioner. You see, so whether one is pursuing the small liberation or medium liberation or the highest liberation of full enlightenment, all these basic preliminaries are to be learned and cultivated in order for our spiritual journey to be, steadily to develop the body path, the main path, and deliver the result. Whatever the result, the small liberation, middle liberation, or higher liberation, whatever it may be. So like that. So first, train in the preliminaries. You see, here in this text, the main practice is, according with the higher vehicle or the higher scope, the Mayani vehicle. So therefore, the main practice is the training in the altruism. So before one train in the altruism, one should learn the preciousness of precious human rebirth, without which, we will not utilize the full potential of training in altruism. Not only that, we have to cultivate from the basic moral discipline in order for us to develop steadily in the cultivation of altruism bodhicitta, which is observation of the karmic law, cause and effect, which is very much observing the 10 virtuous action and abandoning the 10 non-virtuous action. Without that, without the basis of that, we won't able to achieve the aspirational commitments and the engaging commitment to bodhicitta practice. And without that commitment, we will not able to develop the realization. We may understand, but we won't able to develop the realization in aspirational bodhicitta and engaging bodhicitta. So then of course, so like that, you see. So then not only that, engaging in the main body practice on the basis of the understanding the nature of impermanence and death. So if we interrupt our practice to develop altruism by distraction of temporary, happiness, by distractions of samsaric material existence, and by distracting the permanent grasping to the life, saying that, okay, I will practice next year. Now I'm busy, or I will practice when I have enough money, when I reach to the cave, when I become sangha, then I will practice. Right now, I have to focus on gathering of the samsaric necessities, you see. So that is because of the permanent grasping to the life, and not having understanding, not having firm understanding of the impermanent, you see. So due to that reason, the death and impermanent, the understanding and the reflection on death and impermanent, which play a very important preliminary practice in order for us to steadily, develop consistently and swiftly, steadily, consistently, and swiftly within this very lifetime, within this very moment, to able to develop the altruism. Like that. Then another, the preliminary is a Four Noble Truth. Without understanding the truth of suffering as a suffering, then we won't renounce. The truth of suffering is this contaminated body, this contaminated environment, uh, this very life in samsara is in the truth of suffering. So if we don't realize the limitation of that, then we will not aspire, liberation. If you don't aspire liberation, we won't accumulate causes for liberation, which is engaging in the path of developing the altruism. You see, so not only understanding the truth of suffering, but then also to understand what are the causes that bring about, this pervasive suffering of life. Then understanding the detailed characteristic of the delusions, like such as 6-root delusion, 3-root delusions, 22nd root delusions, and all the negative emotions, to learn about them and their limitations. Then bringing the applications, with that, then develop genuine sense of aspiration to liberation and engaging in the path, the truth of the path, which is developing the true altruism, the bodhicitta and emptiness. So developing the true altruism is the way out from truth of suffering and truth of the causes of suffering. Developing the true altruism is the way to cessation. Without which cessation is not possible. So you see, then so here you see. So understanding of the Four Noble Truth. Then the practitioner, with the logical reason, then steadfast in the journey of the spiritual development. And that's how that you can able to achieve the absolute realizations of bodhicitta and emptiness. And that will deliver absolute realizations and the result of the true bodies of the Buddha. So that is the reason. First, train in the preliminary. Then from the 7 points, now the second point, the train in the main practice. Train in the true mind of the awakening, the main practice. For the main practice, train alternately in giving and taking. There are 3 objects, 3 poisons, and 3 root of the virtues. This, in brief, is the instruction for subsequent practice. Okay, so for the main practice, train alternately in giving and taking. So train in tonglen practice. So this is the main practice, tonglen practice. And this tonglen practice has to, the first line, for the main practice, train alternately in giving and taking, is referring to the practitioners, the 2 activities of the spiritual practice, which is the practice of the session and practice of the post-session. Paying attention to the 3 objects, 3 poisons, and 3 root of virtue is the practice of the post-meditation. Practice of the meditation is practicing in tonglen. You see, so like that. And this is the what do you call the concise or the so essence of the whatever practice that you're going to discuss later. Taking the tonglen. So in short, tonglen practice is the essence practice of the Mahayanic teaching that we're going to discuss. So this is the meaning. And that has to develop within our continuum by dividing our practice time into two sections. One is the meditation section, and one is the post-meditation section. Okay. So during the meditation section, then you utilize, you meditate on tonglen utilizing the inhalation and exhalation, the breathing in and out. So when you breathe out, you offer your benefit to the rest of the sentient beings, like happiness, virtues, etc. When you breathe in, then take all other sentient beings suffering and its causes, like that. So there are three objects. So the three objects are the three type of beings: loved one, enemy, and the stranger. These are the three objects. Three poisons: attachment to the loved one, attachment, and aversion and ignorance. Three root of the virtue. The first is the root virtue, the devoid of desire. The root virtue devoid of hatred. The root virtue devoid of ignorance. So these are the three root virtues. So during the post meditation, during when you awake into post meditation, or in another way, in our day-to-day life, beside when we are doing our meditation session. So when we engage in our activities, when we engage with others, when we engage with anything, you see. So the three objects you can also include not just the three type of beings, also the three type of objects, even material objects. The object that which you attach, object that you avoid, object that object that you hate, dislike, and object that you ignore. So when we encounter our senses and our mind with these three kind of people, three kind of beings, and three type of objects, we have to we have to control our three doors in the arising of the three poisons, or when we relate to the three objects, then we have to overcome the apprehension of the three poisons: the attachment, aversion, and ignorance. How? Through the application of the three root virtues, which are the antidote to the three poisons. The detachment. Then patience. Non-hatred. Then non-ignorant. The wisdom of interdependent rising. The wisdom of interconnectivityness. Wisdom of cause and effect, understanding of cause and effect, karmic law, cause and effect. So using these three virtues, then you overcome the three poisons. When you overcome the three poisons, the three objects are purified. For the practitioner who fully equipped with the three virtues, they are free from the three impure views, three impure perceptions. By purifying the three impure perceptions, everything, everybody, every being become loved one to you, become pure to you, like how Buddha would perceive the three type of beings. For Buddha would perceive the three type of beings are equally cherishable because of because of the free from the three poisons. When Buddha apprehend any kind of objects, good or bad, any kind of objects, good or bad, Buddha would apprehend everything is in a pure view. You see, the devoid of all the three poisons, like that. So, so this is the teaching for us that we, now here we learn that first we have to put effort in the preliminary practices. And secondly, we have to make sure that now we know what to develop, the true path, true altruism, bodhicitta, and the emptiness infused by bodhicitta. That's true altruism. Okay. Then how to develop that? Through the essential practice of Mahayanic Dharma, the tonglen practice. So we need to meditate on tonglen practice. Why tonglen practice is so essential? Because by practicing tonglen practice, will eradicate the root cause, which is a self-grasping, attitude. You see, then will develop the altruistic, cherishing mind to others' well-being. You see, so by practicing tonglen, you develop the wisdom of no self. You also develop the method of altruistic, the altruism. You develop the method of altruism. You see, by practicing tonglen. You see, why you are unable to give and give goodness to others and take inconvenience of others to yourself is because of self-grasping and because of self-cherishing, that which is rooted by self-grasping mind. You see, then for the post session, then we have to be mindful. We have to carry the mindfulness of remembering of the three virtues. Our senses, our perception, filled with these three virtues. So apprehend others, relate to others, apprehend other things with this perception of three virtues. Like that. Then, so this bring about the purification of self, then accumulation of merit, like that. So this is the main job. So that's why, as in the text say that in this brief, this is the instruction of the subsequent practice. So this is the essence or the teaching that what we're going to discuss later. Commence the sequence of taking from your own self. Place the true astride your breath. In brief, this is the distilled essence of instruction. In all action, trained by means of the word. So how to practice the tonglen. So this is talking about how to practice the tonglen. So commence the tonglen practice, sequence of taking from your own self. So because of our mind is intense, deep habitual of self-centeredness from beginningless lifetime, it is as a beginner, it is not easy for us to immediately kind of initiate to take others' suffering onto you and give your own happiness to others. Yeah, you see, it is tough. So therefore, first, start from yourself. So meaning, you see. So another thing is that the tonglen, when you do it, when we say take others' suffering onto you, the you is not referring to this conventional, mainly label, the person that like me, this is Zopa. No, you are taking all these misfortunes onto the mistaken eye, the self-grasping, to the mistaken eye, to the confusions, to the confusion, the apprehension, to the confusion of regarding the non-existent, non-existent or the inherent I as a me. So you are taking the misfortune onto that. Okay. And when you say giving, you're not like kind of your physical body kind of like put into package and send to next door. Not like that. Is giving the selfless, thoughts, selfless gestures, or loving gesture, compassionate gesture, or compassionate thought, loving thoughts, kind thoughts, kind gestures. You send, you give to other, you send to other, like through expressing in the word, through expressing in the thought, or through in action. Through in action, like that. So now, here the comment, the sequence of taking from your own self is whatever the negative circumstances that you may face in the future, including if there is a heinous crime and negative karmic imprint that which going to send me to lowest hell, and those, the suffering of the hell, you bring forward now. Then, take on to the self-cherishing attitude or the self-grasping attitude. You see? Whatever suffering, obstacles, inconvenience that you may face next moment onward, whatever they may be. If there's any worry that you kind of like projecting that tomorrow this will happen, this bad thing will happen to me, or that bad thing you bring forward now. Then give to this mistaken I, the hallucinated I. Yeah, then the idea of receiving is you feel the self-grasping I is affected, kind of affect to lose it is strength. The moment you take that, then you feel the self-grasping is already kind of like smashed, or at least kind of shaken. Shaken it is firmness. You see, shaken it is station. Concrete in your system, your mental system. You see, so where you're taking to self-grasping attitude or self-cherishing attitude. How to feel that you are taking into that is for you to feel the losing the whole of self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude in you. Okay, so stronger that you feel that, the tonglen is becoming very effective. If you don't feel just simply, just kind of like, I'm taking, like a chanting prayer. Yes, there is a great benefit of imprint. There is a great benefit of merit just by simply saying the word. There is a benefit, but you're still unable to get the maximum benefit. You see. So at least there's some kind of effects through this practice to happen to you. Is you feel the losing of the firmness of this self-cherishing and self-grasping attitude. You see, when you come out from that session, you kind of feel kind of like release from some kind of chain, the chain of losing the chain of grasping, self-grasping, and losing the chain of self-cherishing. You see, and you feel kind of openness, relax. The openness and relax is when you see other people, you feel delight. You feel kind of like when you see your loved one, how you feel. You feel happy, isn't it? So similarly, when you see anybody, doesn't matter whether you know them or not know them, you feel happy for them, and that is the sign. And whether they are your loved one or not, you just wish them happiness. You see, that kind of openness, start to increase in your mind. You see, when you see anything that you don't see anything is like kind of disliking. So everything is kind of like things and things in the celestial mansion, like things in the celestial mansion of the Buddha, things in the celestial mansion of Guru. Like when you enter into Guru's room, everything you feel wow, 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 isn't it? Even the smell you feel wow. Even the rubbish also you feel very precious. In the Guru's room, even the rubbish you feel very precious. You see? So this is the effect of mind is purifying. You see, you see, if you get an opportunity to go and clean the Guru's toilet, you say, "Wow, I got it!" Wow, as if like you won a lottery. Because of the sign of purified. You see, like that. So otherwise, because of self-cherishing, because of self-grasping, which is the smoke or the cloud of hallucinated mind. Because of that, like there's so little thing that we like, so little thing that we view them pure, so little thing that we do is we kind of feel fulfilling, isn't it? That's why even sensually we're lacking of sensual pleasure. It's almost everything, whatever the five senses relate is mostly is like kind of miserable or no effect, isn't it? You see, so the losing, the losing of self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude, you gain that openness, you gain that freeness, you gain that kind of like a vastness, infiniteness, you see, richness, you see. So this is the effect of tonglen practice, you see, like that. Yeah. So you start with it. You start with that. Then you can, if you remember that there's any negative doings that done in the past, let's say just a moment before, whether it's to do with the thought, whether it's to do with the speech or whatever. If you have just scolded, a minute ago you have scolded somebody, then you know that how much suffering that brought to that person and how much negative karma do you have accumulated. Now you do tonglen. You get into the session and do tonglen. When you breathe in and with that channel of breathing, then you take all those negative imprint and the consequences and the suffering that just experienced by others, just experienced by you just a moment ago, everything, come in, on the how to say, using the breath is like throw onto something, then that thread kind of like get stick with all those things. You take onto the self-grasping and self-cherishing. Like that. You see. So you start with that. You start with. So here meaning you start with that. Place the two astride on your breath. So you train that with your breathing. So when you give now, when you breathe out, then you transfer, through your breathing, through your visualization. Then, if you are concerning about some kind of health issue tomorrow, now you already taken all those things now on the self-grasping and self-cherishing. Now you give, when you breathe out, you give, you send for your continuum of tomorrow, the best health, the healing of the blessing of medicine Buddha. You see that like those of us who have initiation, then it's like that continuum of you, the tomorrow is already initiated with healing by medicine Buddha, already given the immortal medicine from medicine Buddha, like that. then already create a condition of dedication of the current, present, past, present, future merits, that you contribute to the tomorrows of your continuum. Because of that conducive condition, it able to ripen the good karma of the past. So tomorrow it's free from the sickness, free from that body. You see. Then when you do that, when you do that, then there's a sense of kind of delightfulness. So whenever you give something, you need to feel, sense of, like really letting go, like really kind of like really delivered, really delivered the gift to the continuum of the future of tomorrow or others, like that. Not kind of like holding back. You see. So when you do this practice again, you will feel a sense of relaxed, sense of openness, sense of confidence. There's a lot of virtuous experiences is because of the effect of developing the wisdom of selflessness and the attitude of cherishing the cherishing of the others. In this very case, the cherishing of your future continuum. You see, so at least not I, me here. At least there's a certain kind of release, from the grasping of I in this concrete, this me. So because of that, then you start to have this kind of experience. You see, like that. So in brief, so this such tonglen practice, in brief, this is the distilled essence of the instruction, distilled essence of the Mayanic Dharma. In all actions, trained by means of word. So here, in all actions, of course, if you are someone is already well trained, then no need the word to remind. It becomes spontaneous. So until we gain the spontaneous realization in any practice, like a tonglen practice, then we need to get reminded by the words. Like such as like Nagarjuna's, like precious garland, Daladeda Dimage, Dagemalu Dimage. Is like all the happiness, all the meritorious deeds, ripen on others, all other suffering ripen onto me. Jesus semje kanshi ja kangdo, so those the dijalana me by chanju tobja nejuji, etc. Then Shanti Deva's words, etc. You see. So in the commentary of the 7-point mind training, says, may the suffering of all beings ripen upon me through my virtues, may they all achieve happiness. You see. So remind yourself, through such words. So there are so many words. Just look into the Shantideva's Buddhist Avatarya, in the concern of well-being of sentient being. Then you really take full responsibility to alleviate the suffering from them, and offer benefit to them, like that. Then, like even the like a prayer, like usual prayer that everybody knows, in the 4 immeasurable thoughts, just reciting the 4 immeasurable thoughts. So initially we need the help of those quotations, like His Honour Dalai Lama always says, he whether to do with the emptiness, whether to do with the bodhicitta, he relate to some of the quotations, like Nagarjuna's quotations, Shantideva's quotations, then remind that, and he reflect, he do meditation based on that guidance, like that. So, or at least you learn about those words meanings, then try to trigger your mind to engage into practices by remembering those statements, like that. Then from the 7 points, now the 3rd point, relate whatever you can do, meditate right now. When both are present, take them all. Train constantly toward the chosen object. relate whatever, whether it's suffering experiences or whether it's happiness experiences, um, you can do meditate immediately. If it's anything to do with virtues or happiness experiences, immediately take that onto a path, to get inspired, to strengthen your practice in developing with the true altruism. When there's any kind of suffering, any form inconvenience, obstacle comes in your life, everything take as a as a tool to develop the true altruism. You know, like any misfortunes, take that as a reminder of the faults of samsara, a reminder of the faults of the contamination, faults of karma and delusion, and strengthen the mind of renunciation. Then strengthen the inspiration as inspiration of liberation. So with that, then use that as a force or condition to engage in practice. When both are present, take them all. Even the both comes, virtues or non-virtues. Like kind of like competing in your heart in the very same time. Then don't try to kind of get disturbed and try to kind of push away in those negative consequences, negative experiences. Even those negative experiences, you diligently and willingly take those into a practice, take those into a path. Uh, like like while pursuing the dharma, which is virtue, then physically got sick, mentally get disturbed. Then instead of giving up the virtue, giving up the retreat, giving up the practice, all those misfortunes, take into a path, path as a regard by regarding purpose of practice is to purify the karma and accumulate causes for liberation. So these sufferings are definitely by product of past karma and delusion. Now I'm experiencing it. That means karmic consequences is already ripening it. So therefore, I'm so happy that due to the power of the practice, my negative karma is ripening now and at least bearable. Otherwise, if this karma not ripen now, karma has power to increase. Then eventually, this will result the suffering, for eons in the lower realms. So how fortunate, how lucky that this misfortune is arising now. So instead of like depressed, rather feel so motivated, like that. So any virtues are, vast virtues are happening, then get even more inspired and try to engage even more extensive in the practice, like that. Train constantly toward the chosen object. Hmm? Train constantly. So so here I think you can understand the so the chosen object, you can be understood the main practice of the true altruism. Train constantly towards toward the chosen object. Whatever good or bad comes in our way, always use that as a develop the true altruism, rather than just developing minor virtues, minor practices. The focus, get towards the developing of the true altruism. So something like that. Banish all blame to the single source. Toward all beings contemplate their great kindness. Train in the three difficult challenges. And there are two tasks, one at the start and one at the end. So banish all blames to the single source. The single source is the self-grasping. Whatever negativities, inconvenience comes in your way, whether to do with within your own, experiences, or the experience relate to others, the harm by others. No one to blame, not to blame this person, and not to blame the person, they mainly label me, not to blame others, anyone that could be, but blame to the mistaken view of the I, the self-grasping, blame to that mistaken view of the I. So this one, not careful, sometimes is a, blame to self-grasping attitude, and blame to the I, and sometimes people misunderstood that, it should be blame me, any negative thing happen, then blame to myself, it's not like that. You are not an object to blame. You are object to be taken care. What to blame is the self-grasping, the mistaken view. Blame the mistaken view. Not a person. The mistaken concept. The grasping attitude. Blame that, and that is not by fault of a person. This fault of the mind that which is not equipping wisdom and not equipping merit. Because of that, then get into the false. You see, so the person is just the conventional person is a vehicle to be utilized as to gather wisdom, as to gather wisdom to understand where the faults are coming from, and to help using this vehicle to eliminate all the faults, like that. So toward all being contemplate their great kindness. So the first one is specifically self-grasping. Second word is specifically self-cherishing. So in order to eliminate self-cherishing attitude, which is one of the another most troublemaker, one of the greatest obstruction to omniscience, to become Buddha, the self-cherishing attitude. In order to eliminate that, then always, towards all being contemplate their great kindness. So always think of the kindness of other sentient being. That will help us to cherish, to cherish them, to cherish their well-being. This is the way. The technique is think of their kindness. Think of sentient being kindness. So in the sutras, in all the treatises talk about Buddha and the sentient beings equal kind to the development of our spiritual practices, equal kind. You see, so how much we respect to the Buddhas and gurus, that much we have to respect to the ordinary sentient beings. You see, because of they are kind. And why we respect Buddha? Why we respect our guru? Because of we thinking of they are so kind to us, isn't it? So similar reason we use. The sentient beings are the one that make us to actualize one of the greatest path, altruism. Without sentient being, cannot develop even compassion. No question about altruism. Cannot develop love, unconditional love. You see. So therefore, enlightenment, bodhisattva, guruhood, even any form of higher virtues, including the happiness that we experience in our worldly life, comes from other sentient beings. So these are kindness of other sentient beings. So always think of the kindness of others. Train in the three difficult challenges. So the three difficult challenges. First one is the difficult of recalling the antidote of the afflictions at the beginning. That is one difficultness. Second difficulty is the difficult of averting the delusion in the middle. First is to remembering the antidote when the delusion arises. That is difficult. Second one is bringing application of the antidote applying the antidote to the delusion, and that is the second difficult. Third difficulty is eliminating the continuum of the delusion through the application of antidote. So these three are the difficulty. So we say train in the three difficult challenges. Always train in three difficult challenges. You see. So first we need to know the characteristic of different delusions, like a basic, at least, attachment, anger, and ignorance. At least we have to know what are these three. Their characteristic. We know the name, but their characteristic. When we learn about their characteristic, there's a gross delusions and there are subtle delusions. Anger goes gross and subtle. So when gross anger arises, how to tackle them? Subtle anger arises, how to tackle them? You see, like that. Then to know the antidote to the different delusions. You see, we need to learn the characteristic of the different antidotes. Without that, you cannot apply the antidote, isn't it? You see. So in order to utilize the antidote, we need to learn the characteristic of the antidote, like a detachment. What means detachment? We have to know. You see. What means patient? We have to know. Then the general antidote is the emptiness. Like wisdom of dependent rising, wisdom of lack of inherent existence. We need to know what means lack of inherent existence, what means dependent arising. So we need to gain conviction in understanding the definition. Then only you apply accordingly. You see, like first you need to diagnose the sicknesses, then have to know what are the right medicine. Then you have to let the person to eat the medicine, isn't it? So just knowing the medicine, not eating, cannot help. You see, but even know the medicine, you eat some medicine, but then you don't know exactly what is the problem, also can't help. You see, so in Tibetan, first one is Pangja. Then you have to apply the Pachemelam. Then the third one is Namdolam. You see, you have to gain the cessation. Then only you are able to stop the continuum. You only apply the antidote, but you don't gain the cessation from it. Then the negative emotion sounds like no more there, but then it's still not completely purified. That's why whenever the condition arises in the future, that negative emotion will arise back. You see. So what we need to do is we need to train, in the continuous meditation session to completely overcome the negation or the negativities. And that is hard. That is hard. So like that. Okay. So you see. So an example to work it out. First, we need to, in the Lamrim teaching, Lojong teaching, teach us that purify the most obvious and most frequent arising defilement first, the delusion first. You see, so first we need to check it out. What is our main problem? Then we learn about the antidote. Then after you get to learn both the characteristic of the method and negation, then you have to engage into the meditative session in order to train in the second difficulty, which is the averting, apply the antidote and bringing about averting the negation. Let's see. Then that meditation has to be sustainable meditation, effort, have to put effort and sustainable till to the end, that until you gain the cessation out of it. You're able to eradicate from the root, you see. So that require immense of effort. Okay. Yeah. So we have to practice in our day-to-day life. This is another very, very important, because the reason why we practice Dharma is to eliminate delusions and defilements and the karma, you see. So that's why this the training in these three difficulties is extremely important. There are two tasks at the start and at the end. The first, every practice we engage, we should engage accompanied with these two tasks. At the beginning, the task is motivation, correct motivation. If we have wrong motivation, then even how great name or practice we engage, it doesn't help. It will turn into a worldly dharma, you see. So it won't become cause of liberation, you see. So therefore, need to have a correct motivation. So since this teaching subject main focus is on the mind and dharma, then the motivation, bodhicitta motivation. Any practice we engage has to engage with bodhicitta motivation. In relation to this particular content, then whenever we bring application of the antidote to the negation of the delusion, first we must have altruistic intention. Then you engage in the meditative session. Once you end the session, when you end the session with the dedication. So again, dedication in bodhicitta, and dedication in bodhicitta and emptiness. Then contemplate the three that are free of degeneration. Train constantly in the three general points. Transform your attitude, but remain as you are. Adopt the three principal conditions. Train in the five powers. So they contemplate the three degeneration. The three that are free of degeneration. So the three never degenerating, seeing Guru in Buddha. First one. Second one is faith and respect to the Buddhas and the Gurus. And third one is never letting go or degenerating the understanding or understanding of Lojong teaching or the practices as a unsurpassable path to full enlightenment. Always keeping in our mind the Lojong teaching, Lojong practice is the unsurpassable path to the full enlightenment. I like that. Train constantly in the three general points. So the three general points are your mind training should not contradict your pledge. The purpose of mind training is to actualize Buddhahood. Purpose of mind training is to subdue self-cherishing and self-grasping attitude. So therefore, your mind training should not contradict your pledge. Because of you practice Lojong, you practice mind training, and you start to boast, be more ego, then that's wrong. Second general point is your mind training should not become offensive. Someone come and disturb you and say, "Oh, don't disturb me. I'm mind training practitioner. You have to respect me. You cannot do that." when you are doing mind training teaching, when you are training in the mind training, then If people come and abuse you, you welcome them. You just kind of you deal them with compassion and respect. When someone come to pay respect to you, also deal equally the same way, like that. So train you. Your mind training should not become offensive. So offensive to the true purpose. The offensive to the selflessness and cherishing of others. Cannot be offensive to that. Your mind training should not be biased. So you only do mind training to your loved one, but when it comes to your enemy, your mind training disappear. Cannot be like that. Transform your attitude, but remain as you are. So when, as a mind training practitioner, try outwardly, you become same. Means ordinary. Never kind of like try to show off by wearing some special clothes, special colors, and special hairstyle. Like yogic type. In a mantra, there are some reasons for that. But as a mind training practitioner, the ordinariness is like before you are training mind training is it's the same ordinariness. The thing need to change is from worldly to a very subdued spiritual practitioner. The changes has to become as a form of transformation of rough, your body, speech, and mind to a very smooth, subdued person. Adopt the three principal conditions. So the first one is the condition of relying on qualified guru. Then the second condition is always reflecting on the preciousness of precious human rebirth. Then third one is having faith, wisdom, effort, renunciation, and so on, other conditions, in order to sustain your practice in dojo. Like that, yeah. Then after that, from the 7-point, fourth point, training in the 5 powers, which is practice of lifetime. So the 5 powers, the first one is the power of fulfilling intention, the power of the intention, the bodhicitta intention. The second one is the power of inquintance, the knowledge or the practice of the true awakening mind in bodhicitta and emptiness. The third one is the power of positive seed, always gathering the seed of bodhicitta, through cultivation of bodhicitta mind, bodhicitta, the action of body, speech, and mind according with the altruistic intention, then gathering the seed to enlightenment. Then the fourth one is the power of eradication. Then always using the altruistic wisdom to bring about the purification of negativities. In particularly to eradicate, through the true altruism, to eradicate the two main negation, the self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. Then the fifth power is the power of aspirational prayer. Always making bodhicitta aspirational prayer. Like what Shantideva say, as long as sentient being remain, may I too remain the dispel of the suffering of sentient being, like that. So this 5 powers is the practice of lifetime, and this 5 power also is one of the most powerful tool to transfer one's consciousness to the higher rebirths, like Poa. in the Mahayanic Sutrayana, in Mahayanic Sutrayana, in the based on the Lojong treatise, there's no other power than no other transferring consciousness power practice than the five power. So this five power, when you take at the time of death, then that becomes the most powerful transferring consciousness of the dying person. If you are helping someone, then you guide someone through this five power, then you are giving power to someone who is passing away. Then you can able to guide the dying person, with the positive journey, and that will make sure that the dying person to born in higher rebirths. If yourself is dying, then the moment you see some sign of death, some sign of dying, then all the practice, the sutra and tantra, whatever you practice, if you want to use the sutric, the lojong technique, then use the five power to guide yourself from the transition. You see, so all the practices you just combine into the practice of five power. Then pass through the transition like that. So this is regarded one of the most powerful practice. Then from the 7th point, the 5th point is the intent of all teaching coverage on the single point. Of the true witness, uphold the principal one. Cultivate constantly the joyful mind alone. If this can be done even when the distracted, you are trained. Okay, so the first line is intent of all teaching coverage on single point. Entire teaching, to develop the altruism. Of the true witness, uphold the principal one. Whether your practice is genuine or not, concrete or not, is not based on someone's projection. Say, oh, you are a good practitioner, you are doing good. No, not based on that. Rather based on your own inner investigation, your inner understanding of how your mind is working. If your mind is getting less and lesser delusions and more arising of the altruism, that means you are doing good. Even how much other people say how good you are, but then the grasping and self-cherishing is getting more and more, then you fail like that. So from the true witness, uphold the principal one, you see. So true witness means you want to check, isn't it? Sometimes, whether my practice is developing or not, then don't go and ask for somebody, how I'm doing my practice. No, you look inward and check yourself. And so you should rely on that. Cultivate constant the joyful mind alone, cultivate constantly the joyful mind alone. The joyful mind, the altruistic mind is the joyful mind. Joyful in the sense that is free of obstruction, free of grudge, free of suffocation by the graspings, either to do with self-grasping or self-cherishing. So cultivate constantly the joyful mind alone, always. So whenever you want to do meditation, meditate on bodhicitta and meditate on emptiness, like what His Holiness Dalai Lama always advise. Even when we go and take initiation, the commitment nowadays His Holiness is emphasizing to meditate on bodhicitta and emptiness. Whatever teaching that he gives, whether philosophical treatise or lojong treatise or lamrim, whatever, he will conclude by saying that develop the true altruism. Focus on the development of the true altruism. So this is what it means. So then after that, from the 7th point, the 6th point. If this can be done even at the distracted, you are trained. Oh, sorry. Or the line is still within the 7th point. It's on the fifth point. If this can be done, even the distracted, your mind is trained. So even when we are distracted by um, you know, like sensual happiness or distracted by some kind of misfortunes, sickness, etc. There's still that your heart, your heart always stay with the cultivation of emptiness and bodhicitta. That means your mind is well trained in the path. Okay, so now the numbers from the 7 point number 6. The presentation of the commitment of the mind training. So what are the commitment? Do not torment with the malicious banner. Do not boast of your good deeds. Do not be ill-tempered. Do not be boisterous. Do not be fickle. Do not lie in the ambush. Do not place the Lord of Zo onto the ox. Do not sprint to win a race. Do not maintain inappropriate loyalty. Do not be sporadic. Do not abuse this practice. Be released through the true investigation and close analysis. Train with the deceivedness. Be endowed with the 3 inseparable factors. Okay, so rest is easy. Be released through the true investigation and close analysis. Always investigate which affliction arises the most. Then the close analysis. Then where or how does this negative emotion arises? You see, so when anger arises, then check. First, we check, what kind of emotion, negative emotion arises the most. So that would be your first object of negation to be eliminated, purified. In order to do that, check how does it arises. Then only bring about the application of the antidote. Be endowed with the 3 inseparable factors. The 3 inseparable factors are the 3 virtues of the 3 doors. Also can be understood based on the Lojong commentaries that the 3 inseparable factors are offering service to your Guru Buddha, offering service through action and thoughts, then making offerings to protectors like Dhamma protectors to help yourself, help the rest of the others Dhamma practitioners to overcome obstacles on the path, and help to gather conducive conditions. And the third one is also making offerings, making offerings, making charity offerings to such as elemental spirits, smell eaters, like practice of stool offering, practice of tholma offerings. So the one of the Lojong practitioners, one of the practice for Lojong practitioners, they fulfill one of the commitment to Buddha. When during Buddha's time, there's some spirits like hungry ghosts, elemental spirits, etc. If the practitioner don't help them, then no, they don't get any help. So that's why the practice of like suit offering, practice of thorma offering to the elemental spirits, then practice of the chambul. Like most of you, when you do nyune practice at the, after eating food, that you the fingerprint doll, ko chambul, etc. And there are practitioners there who practice every day. After meal, they do that. You see, either the leftover from the rice or the bread, or you can make separate bread or rice, or just from a bread. Bread is easy, isn't it, in the West? So just one piece of bread at the end of the food. Then, if you are not eating afternoon food, first you hold, then you just make a finger print, 5-finger print. If you're not eating afternoon food, then you seal here. If you are eating afternoon food, then no need to seal. The tail just leave there. Then after that, then you throw away with the recitation of mantra of Om Utsita Benza Abish Om Utsita Benza Abish Soha, like that. So these are the be endowed with the 3 inseparable factors. Those who cannot do that, then at least the 3 virtues of the 3 doors. Virtues of the 3 doors: body, speech, and mind. Then the 7th, from the 7th, that's from the 7-point, the 7th. The presentation of the precept of the mind training. Accomplish all yoga through a single means. If relapse, meditate on it as the very remedy. Whichever of the 2 arises, bear them both. Do not speak of others. Do not speak of the defeat of others. So accomplish all yoga through a single means. Any form of meditations and learnings and practices, all to either use as a cause or conditions or antidotes, whatever, for the development of the altruism. If relapse, meditate on it is a very remedy. If any practices, get into faults or relapse, then you learn, you understand relapse due to what. Could be due to laziness, could be due to strong desire, could be due to anger, could be due to anything, self-centeredness, etc., ego. Then meditate on it as the very remedy. Then use whatever the right antidote to that, whichever cause to relapse your using of the experiences to the development of the altruism. You use that particular remedy. So if it's attachment, then use the detachment, or practice of renunciation, etc., like that. Whichever of the 2 arises, bear them both. Then, so if negative arises or positive experience arises, everything take onto a path to develop the altruism. Do not speak of others' defeats. Do not dwell on others' shortcomings. Do not turn the gods into demons. Do not seek misery a means to happiness. Do not depend on others' conditions. Recognize what is primary. Forsake all expectations of reward. Discard poisonous food. Do not strike at the heart. So do not turn the gods into demons. Gods here referring to mind training, understanding and teachings and practice. Don't misuse them. Then Do not depend on others' condition, which is meaning to the development of mind training practice, to development of to altruism. Don't depend on the outer condition like comforts. Whatever condition that you have, that is the right, most conducive condition for the Lojong practice. If it's training shamatha, or if it's doing certain tantric practices, or other like Vinaya practices, you need specific conducive places, which qualified with the specific characteristics, convenience. For Lojong practitioner, for mind training practitioner, those who want to develop wisdom of emptiness and who want to develop bodhicitta, wherever you are, like in here, all of us have a different lifestyle, different daily life responsibilities. In Lojong practice, we all are in the perfect and right, conducive conditions to develop Lojong, to practice Lojong. So for the practitioner of Lojong, there's no excuses saying that, oh, I don't get time to do retreat. I don't, I'm living with, non-practitioners. I'm living with a very angry person. I have no chance to receive teaching, etc. No, as long as you have blessed with at least a transmission of any Lojong teaching, then from that very moment onward, every circumstances of your life, every places where you are, whoever you are, is the most conducive conditions to practice. So that's why it's saying that do not depend on other condition, do not depend on outer condition to the development of Lojong, to the development of bodhicitta and emptiness. Recognize what is for sake of always. Discard poisonous food. So discard poisonous food here, referring to 8 worldly concern. You see, so whenever we practice, we have to be free from 8 worldly concern. Especially when you practice Lojong, this is a primary. Primary. Do not strike at the heart. So do not offense, anyone. For Lojong practitioner, you cannot feel offended by anybody, and you cannot offend anybody. The nastiest person come into your way is so precious, like what says in the verses, So you see, so when you practice Lojong, wow, life really become liberated. When you start to apply these teachings, when you start to practice Lojong, wow, everything is beautiful, beneficial. Everybody is beautiful, beneficial. Everyone is cherishable, lovable. You see, no one is bad to you. No one is harmful to you. You see, even spirits, human, non-human, there's no harm given at all for Lojong practitioner. You see, for Lojong practitioner, when you really know what you are practicing and what kind of practitioner you are, and if you realize that you are Lojong practitioner, then basically that nothing to fear. Everything is a blissful place. Everything you do is meaningful in life. Everything you do become meaningful. You are married couple, most conducive people around you. Your partner is the most conducive to develop Lojong. If you are married, that's the best platform for your Lojong development. If you are audience, Sangha, Mang or Nan, that's the best platform for you to develop Lojong, develop bodhicitta emptiness. best environment. If you are yogic, best environment. If you are sick, best environment. If you are super happy, best environment. If you are king, best environment. If you are the beggar, best environment. So for Lojong practitioner, everything is conducive condition. You see, so yeah, so like that. This is most meaningful. It will turn life most meaningful. Most openness. You know, uh, like that. This proliferation of the five degeneration is transformed into the path of enlightenment when stability is attained. Reveal the secret. Uh, mm, this probability of five degeneration. Yeah, we are in the time of five degeneration. Is transformed into the path of enlightenment when stability is attained. Reveal the secret. So reveal the secret is talking about Lojong. So it is very. It's a golden dharma. It's a very secret in the sense it's extremely precious. You need to have a lot of merit to accept the teaching into our practice. It's not easy. Like you almost like against all the worldly normality of how we think. So therefore, some like in the early classes we share about story. How Chekhov was shocked when he heard the word of tonglen practice, etc. He took a long journey to find it out. Is this really a Buddha's teaching? Is this really teaching works? Because it's like so different from ordinary, the worldly way of thinking. You see, so like that. So anyway, that's why in the past, Lojong teachings, reveal only to those ripened disciples. Not to everybody publicly. Then later, yeah, this teaching came about to the public. So this distilled essence of pit instruction stem from the lineage of most sublime master, like Lama Atisha. I was a sublime master here, since Lama Atisha is the one who wrote this. So talking about specifically the Lama Silingba, then and the two other major master of this lineage. So these are the root line. So this was composed by Atisha. Thank you. So I will stop here. Thank you very much. Today, in fact, about only one page. So I thought that I will end the session by 4:00 at least, but then didn't happen. So anyway, thank you very much. So now we do short dedication. Yeah. So as like what the teaching taught us, that we motivated with bodhicitta to conduct this session, and now we dedicated in bodhicitta emptiness. So yeah, whatever merit we accumulate from past, present, future, we dedicate for the happiness of the numberless sentient beings after full enlightenment. And this collective merit we dedicate to people who passed away within the last 49 days. This collective merit we dedicate also specifically to all the people who work in the front line to overcome this pandemic crisis, and dedicate to those who are suffering from this disease to overcome quickly. And not only that, indirectly or directly, there's almost whole world is suffering. So So may this merit be the complete cause to overcome that. May this merit be the complete cause to actualize the medicine, the vaccine, as soon as possible. And may this collective merit be the complete cause for all our gurus, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, and all your other individual gurus, and all the good people who are source of peace and happiness to the world. Have long life, good health, fulfill all their aspirations accordingly. And may this collective merit be the complete cause. All the leaders of the world, leaders of organizations, leaders of the family, actualize loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom, so that whoever that they leads, all these people will be able to enjoy peace and happiness and harmony. And may this collective merit be the complete cause for each and every one of us be as courageous like our gurus, to dedicate our life for the benefit of others. May this merit be a complete cause for us to follow exactly what Lama Atisha taught, develop the true altruism, and remain in all the Lojong commitments in our day-to-day life. Then carry the pure view towards all sentient beings by remembering their kindness, cherishing their well-being. Whatever we see, we view them like the celestial mansion of the Buddhas. Our heart filled with pure understanding, pure views. 안녕하세요 여러분. 많이 받는 기회지 교환이 몸에 보내 모두 배워줘. 돈이 다와를 보지 많이 받는 기회지 교환이 몸에 보내 모두 배워줘. 가래라 배고 외신 건데 편한데 뭐만 주변에 제레스가 되는지 샤베 세대 봐도 되지. 두두 차지 장은 자베 지교배 고조도 조조거를 되면 들어. 다소도 지역권도 샤대쇼. 샘제냐가 진입 요도네라 타지. 또 왜냐네 뭐네. 나도 좋은 거. 배단 조함이 그 위신도 받으면 샘제라고 하고 상관 추진 좀 다시 덤바지 되고 좀 덤바 뉴시. Thank you very much. Take care. See you. Bye-bye.